My child, before you continue scrolling, before you move on to the next distraction, before you allow another worry to occupy your thoughts, I want you to stop and listen carefully, because this message is not an accident. You may think you stumbled across these words by chance, but I want you to know that I have been guiding your steps even when you could not see my hand. Out of all the places you could be right now, out of all the voices competing for your attention, you are here for a reason. I know the journey you have been walking. I know the prayers you have whispered in silence. I know the tears you have shed when no one was around to comfort you. I know the disappointment you have felt when doors remained closed and answers seemed delayed. I know how many times you have asked me, Lord, how much longer? I know the weight of waiting that has rested upon your heart. I know there were moments when you felt hopeful and moments when you felt discouraged. I know there were days when your faith was strong and days when you struggled just to believe that anything would ever change. But today, my child, I want you to hear my voice above every other voice. I want you to hear my truth above every fear, every doubt, every disappointment, and every lie the enemy has tried to place in your mind. Your waiting season is not evidence that I have forgotten you. Your delay is not proof that I have ignored your prayers. Your struggle is not a sign that I have abandoned you. I have been with you through every step of this journey, even when you could not feel. I have seen every sacrifice you have made. I have seen every act of faith. I have seen every time you chose to keep going when giving up seemed easier. Nothing about your story has escaped my attention. Every prayer has reached me. Every tear has been counted. Every moment of waiting has been recorded. My child, I know that waiting can be exhausting. It is difficult to keep believing when the answer does not arrive quickly. It is difficult to remain hopeful when circumstances refuse to change. It is difficult to trust when you cannot see what I am doing behind the scenes. Yet despite the difficulty, you are still here. You are still seeking me. You are still holding on. And I want you to know that your perseverance has not gone unnoticed. There were times when you thought you were standing alone, but I was standing beside you. There were times when you thought nothing was happening, but I was working in ways you could not yet understand. There were times when you felt forgotten, but I was carefully arranging pieces of your future. My child, the enemy wanted you to believe that the delay meant defeat. He wanted you to think that because the answer had not arrived, he wanted you to lose hope and stop believing. But I am telling you today that the enemy does not determine your future. I do. The delay was never the end of your story. The waiting season was never meant to destroy your faith. What the enemy intended to use against you, I am using to strengthen you. What felt like a setback is becoming a setup for something greater. What felt like silence, what felt like inactivity was often protection. There are things I have been keeping you from that you do not yet understand. There are doors I closed because they were not part of my best plan for your life. There are opportunities I delayed because the timing was not right. There are blessings I have been preparing that require patience before they can be received. My child, I know you have looked at others and wondered why their answers seem to come sooner. I know you have questioned why some doors opened for them while yours remained closed. I know you have compared your journey to the journeys of others. But I want you to stop comparing what I am doing in your life to what I am doing in someone else's life. Your story is unique. Your calling is unique. The timing I have chosen for you is specifically designed for your purpose. Just because someone else's blessing arrives sooner does not mean yours has been canceled. Just because someone else's breakthrough looks different does not mean I am not working in your life. My child, I need you to understand that heaven has never been silent concerning your situation. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were praying, I was preparing. While you were worrying, I was arranging circumstances. While you were wondering whether anything would change, I was already making a way. The answer you seek is closer than you realize. The breakthrough you have been praying for is nearer than you think. The door you have been asking me to open is not forgotten. The promise you have been holding on to is still alive. Do not allow temporary delays to convince you that my promises have failed. My promises remain true even when circumstances make them difficult to see. My child, I know there have been moments when discouragement tried to settle into your heart. You prayed and waited, you trusted and waited, you hoped and waited, and sometimes the waiting felt endless. But remember this, if I brought you this far, I will not leave you now. If I carried you through every previous season, I will carry you through this one as well. The same God who protected you yesterday is protecting you today. The same God who provided before will provide again. The same God who opened doors in the past is able to open new doors in your future. My power has not changed. My love has not changed. My plans for you have not changed, my child. There is a reason these words are reaching your heart right now. I want to remind you that hope is not lost. I want to remind you that your prayers are not forgotten. I want to remind you that your waiting season has purpose. Every day you remained faithful, your character was being strengthened. Every day you chose trust over fear, your faith was growing. Every day you continued believing despite disappointment. You were becoming the person I created you to be. The waiting was never meaningless. The waiting was preparation. The waiting was growth. The waiting was part of the process that would prepare you for the blessing that is coming. My child, do not quit now. Do not stop believing now. Do not allow fear to steal what faith has built. You are close. The breakthrough is closer than you think. The answer is nearer than it appears. There are things happening beyond your vision and beyond your understanding. I am opening doors you cannot yet see. I am connecting people who will play important roles in your future. I am removing obstacles that have stood in your way. I am aligning circumstances according to my perfect plan. Even now, while you are reading these words, I am working on your behalf. My child, lift your eyes above your current situation. Look beyond the delay. Look beyond the disappointment. Look beyond the uncertainty. Fix your eyes on me. Remember who I am. I am the God who makes a way in the wilderness. I am the God who opens doors no one can shut. I am the God who fulfills promises even when circumstances seem impossible. I am the God who turns waiting seasons into testimony seasons. The chapter you are living in today is not the final chapter of your story. Greater things are ahead. New opportunities are ahead. New blessings are ahead. New victories are ahead. What I have prepared for you is what I am building in your life is worth the process. What I am about to do will remind you why you were asked to trust me in the first place. So hold on a little longer, my child. Keep believing, keep praying, keep trusting. Keep moving forward, one step at a time. Your waiting season is coming to an end. The door is beginning to open. The breakthrough is drawing near. The answer is on its way, and when the blessing arrives, you will understand that I was working all along. You will see that every delay had purpose, every challenge had meaning, and every tear was part of a greater story. Today, let faith rise again in your heart. Let hope return to your spirit. Let trust replace fear. Because I am with you, I am for you, and I am leading you into a new season that will reveal my faithfulness in ways greater than you can imagine. Comment, Amen, if you believe God is ending your waiting season and preparing you for a breakthrough. My child, I know that one of the hardest questions you have asked during this season is, why am I still waiting? You have prayed faithfully, trusted sincerely, and held on to hope longer than you thought possible. Yet the answer has not arrived in the way or at the time you expected. There have been moments when you wondered if I heard your prayers at all. There have been nights when you questioned whether your faith was strong enough, whether you had done something wrong, or whether I had somehow forgotten about you. But today, I want you to hear my voice clearly. I have not forgotten you, and your waiting season is not a punishment. The delay is not proof of my absence. The waiting is not evidence that I do not care. In fact, many times the very thing you call a delay is actually my protection, my preparation, and my love working in ways that you cannot yet understand. My child, if I gave you everything the moment you asked for it, you would miss many of the lessons that can only be learned through waiting. Waiting develops trust. Waiting reveals character. Waiting strengthens faith. Waiting teaches patience in a world that I know waiting is uncomfortable because it forces you to rely on me instead of your own understanding. It requires you to believe that I am working even when you cannot see any visible evidence. It asks you to trust my wisdom above your own timeline. But remember this, just because you cannot see me working does not mean I am inactive. The seed buried beneath the ground appears lifeless before it begins to grow. Yet important work is taking place beneath the surface. In the same way, I have been working beneath the surface of your circumstances. While you have been focused on what you cannot see, I have been arranging details, opening paths, preparing opportunities, and aligning events according to my perfect plan. My child, many of the delays you have experienced were actually acts of mercy. There were doors you desperately wanted opened that would have led you into unnecessary pain. There were relationships you wished would have lasted that would have taken you away from my best for your life. There were opportunities you thought were perfect that would have created burdens you were not ready to carry. You saw a closed door and thought it was rejection, but I saw danger and offered protection. You saw a delay and thought it was disappointment, but I saw the bigger picture and knew the timing was not yet right. My child, you often judge a situation based on what you can see today, but I see tomorrow, next year, and every step beyond that. I know how each decision, each opportunity, and each relationship will affect your future. That is why my timing is different from yours. I am not limited by what is happening in the present moment. I see the entire journey. There have been many times when you asked for something good, but I was preparing something better. There have been times when you wanted an immediate answer, but I knew a greater blessing required addition. The waiting was never intended to hurt you. The waiting was designed to prepare you. Think about Joseph. He received a dream from me at a young age, but the fulfillment of that dream did not happen immediately. There were years of waiting, years of misunderstanding, years of betrayal, and years of hardship. From a human perspective, it looked as though the promise had failed. Yet, every season Joseph walked through was preparing him for the position I had destined for him. The pit prepared him. The prison prepared him. The disappointments prepared him. The delays prepared him. Had I fulfilled the promise too soon, he would not have been ready for the responsibility that came with it. My child, the same is true in your life. There are things I am building within you during this waiting season. I am developing wisdom where there was once impatience. I am creating strength where there was once weakness. I am teaching trust where fear once ruled. I am shaping your character so that when the blessing arrives, you will be prepared to handle it. Many people desire the blessing, but few appreciate the preparation. Yet preparation is often the greatest gift because it positions you to sustain what you receive. My child, there are blessings that would have overwhelmed you if they had arrived too early. There are responsibilities that would have crushed you if they had been placed upon you before you were ready. There are opportunities that would have distracted you from your true purpose if they had appeared at the wrong time. I know what you need, and I know when you need it. That is why my timing is never random. Every delay has meaning. Every waiting season has purpose. Every unanswered prayer has a reason, even if you do not yet understand it. My child, I know there have been times when you compared your journey to someone else's. You saw others receiving answers while you continued waiting. You watched others achieve goals while your progress seemed slow. You wondered why their path appeared easier while yours felt more difficult. But comparison is a trap that steals peace and weakens faith. You are not called to live someone else's story. You are not walking someone else's path. I created you with a unique purpose, a unique calling, and a unique timeline. The blessings prepared for you are not identical to the blessings prepared for others. Trust that I know exactly what I am doing in your life. Trust that my plans are personal. Trust that my timing is intentional. My child, I want you to remember that some of the greatest miracles in Scripture required waiting. Abraham waited years for the promised son. David waited years between his anointing and his coronation as king. Moses waited decades before stepping into the calling I had for him. Even when my promises seemed delayed, they were never forgotten. The waiting season was part of the fulfillment process. The delay was not the denial. The waiting was not the end of the story. The same truth applies to your life today. The promise has not expired. The prayer has not been ignored. The dream has not been abandoned. I am still working. I am still guiding you toward the future I have planned. My child, there are moments when waiting feels lonely, but you are never alone. I am present in every step of the process. I am present in every prayer. I am present in every tear. I am present in every question. I am closer than you realize. When you feel discouraged, I am strengthening you. When you feel weak, I am carrying you. Even when you cannot feel my presence, my hand remains upon your life. My child, do not interpret silence as absence. There are seasons when I work quietly. There are seasons when my greatest work happens beneath the surface, where human eyes cannot see it. Just as roots grow before fruit appears, spiritual growth often happens before visible blessings arrive. I am building something deeper than you can currently imagine. I am preparing a foundation strong enough to support the future I have planned for you. And when the time is right, what I have been doing in secret will become visible. My child, one day you will look back on this waiting season and understand things that seem confusing now. You will see how I protected you from mistakes you never knew about. You will see how I redirected you toward something better. You will see how every delay served a purpose. You will see how every challenge strengthened your faith. You will see how every unanswered prayer was part of a larger plan. What feels frustrating today will become clear tomorrow. What feels painful today will become part of your testimony. What feels uncertain today will reveal my faithfulness in ways you cannot yet imagine. So do not lose heart. Do not allow discouragement to take root. Do not let temporary delays convince you that my promises have failed. Keep trusting me, keep praying, keep believing, keep walking forward one step at a time. I am not withholding good things from you. I am preparing good things for you. I am not ignoring your prayers. I am working on their answers. I am not delaying because I do not care. I am delaying because I care enough to give you what is best at the right time. Trust my heart even when you cannot Trust my wisdom even when you do not understand my timing. Trust my love even when the journey feels long. Because the same God who began a good work in your life is faithful to complete it. Your waiting season has purpose. Your delay has meaning. And your breakthrough is closer than you think. Comment trust. If you believe God is working through the waiting and preparing something greater than you can currently see. My child, I know that the wilderness seasons of life are not easy. I know there have been moments when you felt lost, uncertain, and exhausted from the journey. You expected things to happen faster. You thought certain prayers would already be answered. You imagined that by now you would be standing in a different place, living a different reality, and celebrating victories that have not yet arrived. Instead, you find yourself in what feels like a wilderness, a place where progress seems slow, answers seem distant, and the future appears unclear. But today I want you to understand something that many people miss. The wilderness is not a punishment. The wilderness is a classroom. The wilderness is not where I abandon my children. It is often where I prepare them for their greatest purpose. Some of the most powerful lessons you will ever learn are not learned during seasons of abundance, but during seasons of waiting. It is in the wilderness that faith becomes real. It is in the wilderness that character is formed. It is in the wilderness that trust is tested and strengthened. My child, when everything is going well, it is easy to say that you trust me. When doors are opening, opportunities are appearing, and blessings are flowing, faith feels natural. But true faith is revealed when you continue trusting me even when you cannot see immediate results. True faith is choosing to believe that I am good even when life feels difficult. True faith is holding on to my promises when circumstances seem to contradict them. The wilderness reveals what is truly inside the heart. It exposes fears that need healing, doubts that need replacing, and habits that need changing. It teaches dependence upon me rather than dependence upon circumstances. I know you would prefer to skip these lessons and move directly to the breakthrough, but the lessons of the wilderness are preparing you for the blessings ahead. Think about Moses, my child. Before he led a nation, he spent years in the wilderness. Before he witnessed miracles and fulfilled his calling, he lived in obscurity. To many people, those years may have seemed wasted. They may have looked like a delay or a detour. But nothing about those years was wasted. While Moses thought he was simply tending sheep, I was developing leadership. While he thought his greatest opportunities had passed him by, I was preparing him for something far greater than he could imagine. The wilderness shaped him into the person he needed to become. The same is true for you. What feels like a delay may actually be preparation. What feels like a detour may actually be the path leading to your destiny. My child, one of the greatest lessons of the wilderness is learning that my presence is enough. There are seasons when I remove distractions so that you can hear my voice more clearly. There are seasons when I allow certain comforts to disappear so that you will discover a deeper dependence upon me. I know this process is not always comfortable. In fact, it is often difficult. But the goal is not to harm you. The goal is to bring you closer to me. The wilderness strips away illusions. It reveals what truly matters. It reminds you that your security is not found in money, status, relationships, or circumstances. Your security is found in me when everything else feels uncertain. My love remains certain. When everything else changes, my promises remain constant. When everything else seems unstable, I remain your firm foundation. My child, the wilderness also teaches patience. I know patience is not a lesson you enjoy learning, but it is one of the most valuable gifts I can develop within you. Many people want immediate answers and instant results. They want blessings without preparation, success without growth, and promotion without maturity. But I care about your character as much as I care about your calling. I care about who you are becoming, not just what you are receiving. Patience develops endurance. Patience strengthens faith. Patience teaches you how to trust my timing instead of demanding your own. The person who emerges from the wilderness with patience is far stronger than the person who entered it. My child, another lesson of the wilderness is humility. During successful seasons, it is easy to become confident in your own abilities. It is easy to believe that your strength alone produced your victories. But the wilderness reminds you that every good thing comes from me. It reminds you that you need my wisdom, my guidance, and my strength every day. Humility is not weakness. Humility is recognizing your dependence upon me. And when you learn that lesson, you become ready for greater responsibility, because you understand where your strength truly comes from. I know there have been days when you felt frustrated by the wilderness. You looked around and saw others moving ahead while you seemed stuck. You wondered why their journey appeared easier. You questioned why your path felt longer. But comparison will only distract you from the work I am doing in your life. You do not know the full story of another person's journey, and they do not know the full story of yours. Focus on the path I have placed before you. Trust the process I have designed. Your wilderness is producing something unique within you. Your challenges are shaping strengths that will serve a purpose later. Your struggles are teaching lessons that will become valuable in the future. Nothing is being wasted. My child, remember the Israelites in the wilderness. What should have been a short journey became a long one because they allowed fear, doubt, and unbelief to control their decisions. They focused more on obstacles than on my promises. They remembered the difficulties of the journey more than the faithfulness of their God. Learn from their example. Do not allow fear to keep you wandering longer than necessary. Do not allow doubt to overshadow my promises. Do not allow discouragement to blind you to the blessings I have already provided. Instead, choose gratitude, choose trust, choose faith. Even in the wilderness, there is provision. Even in the wilderness, there is guidance. Even in the wilderness, there is purpose. My child, there are blessings hidden within this season that you may not recognize until later. The strength you are developing now will help you overcome future challenges. The wisdom you are gaining now will guide future decisions. The faith you are building now will sustain you through future victories. One day you will look back and realize that some of the most important growth in your life happened during the seasons you once wanted to escape. You will see how the wilderness taught you to trust me more deeply. You will see how it strengthened your character. You will see how it prepared you for opportunities that required greater maturity and wisdom. You will understand that what felt difficult was actually necessary. My child, do not mistake slow progress for no progress. Just because growth is happening beneath the surface does not mean growth is absent. A tree develops roots long before it produces visible fruit. In the same way, I am developing spiritual roots within you. I am building a foundation strong enough to support the future I have prepared. The deeper the roots, the stronger the tree. The stronger the foundation, the greater the building. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that my process has purpose. Trust that the wilderness is temporary. Every wilderness season has an ending. Every preparation season eventually leads to promotion. Every waiting season eventually leads to fulfillment. My child, while you are in this season, continue seeking me. Continue praying. Continue reading my word. Continue trusting my promises. Continue taking faithful steps forward. Do not allow temporary difficulties to cause permanent discouragement. The wilderness is not your destination. It is part of the journey. It is shaping you, strengthening you, and preparing you for what comes next. One day, the lessons you are learning now will become part of your testimony. One day, the struggles you face today will become evidence of my faithfulness. One day, you will stand in the blessing and realize that the wilderness was not working against you. So lift your head, my child. Do not lose hope. Do not give up. Do not believe the lie that you are forgotten. I am with you in the wilderness just as surely as I will be with you in the promised land. I am guiding every step. I am teaching every lesson. I am preparing every blessing. Keep trusting me. Keep following me. Keep believing. Because the wilderness is not the end of your story. It is simply the place where I am preparing you for everything that is yet to come. Comment. Faith, if you believe God is using this season to strengthen you, prepare you, and lead you toward His greater purpose for your life. My child, one of the greatest challenges you will face during a waiting season is learning to trust my timing instead of your own. I know this is not easy. I know there have been moments when you looked at your life and wondered why certain things have not happened yet. I know there have been days when you questioned why opportunities seem delayed, why prayers remain unanswered, and why the future appears to be moving slower than you expected. I know you have watched others receive blessings while you continued waiting. I know you have wondered if you somehow missed your chance, if you made a mistake, or if the promise you have been holding on to will ever become reality. But today, my child, I want you to understand a truth that can transform the way you view your current season. My timing is never late, never early, and never wrong. My timing is perfect because I see what you cannot see. You see the present moment, but I see the entire journey. You see today's obstacles, but I see tomorrow's victories. You see the closed door, but I see the danger it prevented and the better opportunity that lies ahead. My child, many times you ask me for immediate answers because you believe that what you want right now is the best thing for you. But there are moments when what seems good to you is not yet ready. And there are moments when you are not yet ready for what you desire. Just because something is delayed does not mean it is denied. Often, the delay is part of the blessing itself. The delay creates preparation. The delay builds maturity. The delay develops faith. The delay positions you for something greater than you originally imagined. Think about Abraham, my child. I gave him a promise that seemed impossible. I told him he would become the father of many nations, yet year after year passed without fulfillment. There were moments when the promise appeared impossible. There were moments when circumstances seemed to contradict everything I had spoken. Yet I never forgot my promise. I never changed my mind. I never abandoned my plan. The waiting season was not evidence of failure. It was evidence that my timing was still unfolding. When the promise finally arrived, it arrived exactly when it was supposed to. Not according to Abraham's schedule, but according to mine. My child, the same is true. The promises I have placed within your heart are not forgotten. The dreams I have given you are not abandoned. The prayers you have prayed are not ignored. I am simply working according to a timeline that is greater than your understanding. Trust that I know what I am doing. Trust that I see the complete picture, even when you can only see one piece of it. Think about Joseph. As a young man, he received a dream that revealed a great future. Yet instead of immediate promotion, he experienced betrayal, slavery, false accusations, and imprisonment. If Joseph had judged my faithfulness based only on his circumstances, he would have believed that I had abandoned him. But every delay had purpose. Every hardship served a role in preparing him for leadership. Every closed door redirected him toward the fulfillment of my plan. The prison was not the end of Joseph's story. It was part of the process. The delay was not punishment. It was preparation. My child, there may be areas of your life that feel like a prison right now. There may be situations where you feel trapped, frustrated, or forgotten. But do not judge your future by your present circumstances. I am still writing your story. The chapter you are in today is not the final chapter. The delays you are experiencing today are not permanent. I am preparing something that requires patience, growth, and trust. Think about David. He was anointed king long before he ever sat on the throne. Imagine how confusing that must have been. He received a promise, yet years passed before its fulfillment. During those years, David faced battles, rejection, danger, and uncertainty. He could have become bitter. He could have stopped believing. He could have questioned my promise. Instead, he learned to trust my timing. And when the moment finally arrived, he was prepared for the responsibility he would carry. Had he received the throne immediately, he would not have possessed the wisdom, humility, and strength that the waiting season developed within him. My child, what if the very thing you are asking me to speed up is the very thing that requires more preparation? What if the blessing you desire needs a stronger foundation before it can arrive? What if the delay you dislike is actually protecting the future you have been praying for? Trust that I know what is best. Trust that I am not withholding good things from you. Trust that every delay has purpose. One of the reasons waiting feels so difficult is because you live in a world that values speed. Everything around you encourages instant results. People want quick answers, immediate success, and rapid progress. But my kingdom often works differently. I am more concerned with lasting transformation than temporary satisfaction. I care about who you are becoming, not just what you are receiving. The blessing is important, but the person you become while waiting for the blessing is equally important. The waiting, it strengthens faith. It develops patience. It teaches dependence upon me. These are treasures that cannot be gained overnight. My child, there have been many moments when you thought a delay was hurting you, only to discover later that it was helping you. There have been doors you desperately wanted opened that would have led to disappointment. There have been opportunities you thought you needed that would have distracted you from your purpose. There have been relationships you wanted to keep that would have prevented future growth. Looking back, you can already see examples of my wisdom. The same wisdom that guided you then is guiding you now. If you trusted me in those situations, trust me in this one as well. I know the path ahead. I know the challenges you cannot. I know the blessings waiting beyond the horizon. My child, trusting my timing does not mean doing nothing. It means continuing to move forward in faith while leaving the results in my hands. It means praying while you wait. It means obeying while you wait. It means growing while you wait. It means believing while you wait. Trust is not passive. Trust is active faith. Trust chooses hope even when circumstances seem uncertain. Trust chooses patience even when emotions demand immediate answers. Trust chooses peace even when the future remains unclear. My child, there will be moments when fear tries to convince you that time is running out. Fear will whisper that you are behind. Fear will tell you that everyone else is moving ahead while you remain stuck. Fear will insist that you have missed your opportunity. But fear does not speak for me. My voice says that your life is not governed by panic. My voice says that your future is secure in my hands. My voice says that what I have planned for you cannot be stolen by delays, mistakes, or circumstances. What I have promised, I am able to fulfill. What I have begun, I am faithful to complete. My child, I want you to remember the words found in Habakkuk 2-3. Though it linger, wait for it. It will certainly come and will not delay. This verse does not mean the journey will always feel easy. It means that my promises arrive at the appointed time. What seems delayed from your perspective is perfectly timed from mine. The answer is not late. The blessing is not forgotten. The breakthrough is not canceled. Everything is moving according to a plan far greater than you can currently understand. One day you will look back on this season and realize that I was never late. You will see how every piece, you will understand why certain doors remain closed and why certain opportunities require patience. You will recognize that my timing protected you, prepared you, and positioned you for something better than you imagined. Until that day arrives, keep trusting me. Keep walking by faith. Keep believing my promises. Keep your eyes fixed on me instead of your circumstances. Do not allow impatience to steal your peace. Do not allow comparison to weaken your faith. Do not allow temporary delays to make you question eternal promises. I am working even now. I am preparing even now. I am guiding even now. And when the appointed moment arrives, the door will open, the answer will come, and the blessing will be revealed. Until then, trust my heart, trust my wisdom, and trust my timing. Because I have never failed you, I will never leave you, and I am leading you toward a future filled with purpose, hope, and blessing. Comment trust God's timing if you believe that God is working behind the scenes and preparing the perfect moment for your breakthrough. My child, there are blessings hidden within this season that you cannot yet see. I know it is difficult to believe that when all you can focus on is what has not happened. what has been delayed, or what seems to be missing from your life. I know there have been days when you looked at your circumstances and wondered if anything good could possibly come from this waiting season. You have prayed, trusted, hoped, and endured. Yet the answers have not appeared in the way you expected. It is easy to focus on the closed doors, the unanswered prayers, and the opportunities that never arrived. But today, I want you to shift your perspective and begin looking beyond what is visible. What if some of the greatest blessings in your life are currently being prepared in places you cannot see? What if the delay that frustrates you today is protecting a blessing that will amaze you tomorrow? What if the very thing you consider a setback is actually positioning you for something greater than you have imagined? My child, I need you to understand that I am always working, even when my work is hidden. There are seasons when my greatest activity takes place behind the scenes. Just because you cannot see movement does not mean there is no movement. Just because you cannot see results does not mean nothing is happening. Think about a seed planted beneath the ground. For a long time, nothing appears to change. The soil looks exactly the same day after day. To the human eye, it may seem as though nothing is growing, but beneath this, life is forming. Preparation is taking place. The hidden process is creating the visible harvest that will eventually appear. My child, that is exactly what I am doing in your life. While you focus on what has not happened yet, I am building foundations beneath the surface. While you are waiting for visible change, I am arranging invisible details. While you are wondering whether I have heard your prayers, I am already working on the answer. Many of the blessings I prepare begin in secret, long before they become visible. My child, there have been closed doors in your life that caused pain and confusion. You prayed for opportunities that never happened. You hoped for relationships that did not work out. You expected certain plans to succeed, only to watch them fall apart. At the time, those experiences felt like disappointment. They felt like rejection. They felt like loss. But what you could not see was my hand of protection. Sometimes a closed door is one of the greatest blessings I can give you. Sometimes the opportunity you desperately wanted would have led you away from your purpose. Sometimes the relationship you fought to keep would have brought heartache into your future. Sometimes the path you wanted to follow would have created obstacles that you were never meant to carry. I see what you cannot see. I know what lies ahead. I understand the consequences of choices before they happen. That is why I sometimes say no when you want yes. That is why I sometimes close doors when you are praying for them to open. Not because I want to hurt you, but because I love you enough to protect you. My child, there are blessings hidden in delays as well. You often think of delays as obstacles, but delays can become instruments of preparation. There are things you are praying for today that require growth before they arrive. There are responsibilities you desire that require maturity before they can be trusted to your care. There are opportunities ahead that need a stronger version of you. The waiting season is not empty. The waiting season is productive. While you are waiting, I am strengthening your faith. While you are waiting, I am teaching patience. While you are waiting, I am developing wisdom. While you are waiting, I am shaping your character. These hidden blessings may not seem exciting now, but one day you will realize they were among the most valuable gifts I ever gave you. My child, I know you sometimes compare your life to the lives of others. You see people receiving opportunities, relationships, promotions, and blessings that you have been praying for. You wonder why their path appears easier while yours seems slower. But what you cannot see is that every person has a different journey. You only see a small part of their story. You do not see their struggles, their preparation, or their hidden battles. More importantly, you do not see the unique plan I have for your life. Stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. Stop assuming that because their blessing arrived sooner, yours has been forgotten. I am not following their schedule. I am following mine. The blessing prepared for you is uniquely designed for your calling, your purpose, and your future. Trust that I know exactly what I am doing. My child, there are people I am preparing to meet you who will encourage, support, and strengthen your journey. You may not know their names yet. You may not know where they are. But I am already arranging divine connections. I am already preparing conversations that will change your perspective. I am already opening paths that will lead you to the right relationships at the right time. Some blessings come in the form of healing. Some blessings come in the form of wisdom. And some blessings come in the form of people. What seems like isolation today may simply be preparation for meaningful connections tomorrow. My child, another hidden blessing is the wisdom you gain through waiting. There are lessons you learn in difficult seasons that cannot be learned anywhere else. You discover strengths you never knew you possessed. You develop compassion for others who struggle. You learn how to trust me when circumstances are uncertain. You gain understanding that will help guide future decisions. These lessons become treasures that remain with you long after the waiting season ends. One day, someone else will walk through a struggle similar to yours, and you will be able to encourage them because of what you learned during this season. What feels painful now may become part of your testimony later. My child, remember Joseph. From a human perspective, his life seemed filled with setbacks. He was betrayed by his brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. Each event appeared to move him further away from the dream I had given him. Yet every setback was secretly moving him closer to his destiny. The betrayal led him to Egypt. The slavery positioned him for influence. The prison connected him to people who would eventually remember him. What looked like misfortune was actually preparation. What looked like loss was actually movement toward purpose. My child, there are situations in your life that may not make sense right now. There are disappointments you still do not understand. There are delays that still frustrate you. But trust that I am capable of using every detail. Trust that I can turn obstacles into opportunities and setbacks into stepping stones. Trust that my plans are greater than your current perspective. My child, hidden blessings often require faith to recognize. If you focus only on what is missing, you may overlook what I am already providing. If you focus only on the doors that closed, you may miss the doors beginning to open. If you focus only on the prayers that remain unanswered, you may fail to see the prayers I have already answered. Take time to recognize the blessings surrounding you today. Recognize the strength that carried you through difficult seasons. Recognize the protection that kept you safe. Recognize the grace that sustained you when you felt weak. Recognize the love that remains constant through every circumstance. Gratitude opens your eyes to blessings that fear often hides. My child, one day you will look back on this season and realize that I was working more than you understood. You will see how I protected you from unnecessary pain. You will see how I prepared opportunities you could not have arranged on your own. You will see how delays became blessings. You will see how disappointments redirected you toward something better. You will understand why certain prayers were answered differently than you expected. Most importantly, you will see my faithfulness in every chapter of your story. Until that day arrives, continue trusting me, continue believing, continue walking by faith, even when you cannot see the full picture. I am working behind the scenes. I am arranging details. I am preparing blessings. I am opening doors. I am creating opportunities. I am writing a story great. The hidden blessings of today will become the visible testimonies of tomorrow. So lift your eyes beyond your circumstances and trust my heart. I have not forgotten you. I have not abandoned you. I am preparing good things for you even now. Comment 777. If you believe God is working behind the scenes and preparing hidden blessings that will be revealed in His perfect time. My child, I know that waiting can be exhausting. I know there are days when you wake up feeling strong and hopeful, ready to trust me and continue moving forward. But I also know there are days when the weight of the journey feels heavier than you can bear. I know there have been moments when you felt tired of praying the same prayers, tired of facing the same challenges, and tired of waiting for answers that seem slow to arrive. I know there have been nights when you lay awake wondering how much longer you would have to endure this season. I know there have been mornings when simply getting out of bed required more strength than anyone around you realized. My child, I see the battles that others do not see. I see the silent struggles hidden behind your smile. I see the courage it takes to keep going when your heart feels weary. I see the faith it takes to trust me when circumstances make no sense. And today I want you to know that the reason you are still standing is not because of your own strength alone. You are still here because my grace has been carrying you every step of the way. There were moments when you thought you could not continue, yet somehow you found the strength to take another step. There were seasons when you believed you had reached your limit, yet you kept moving forward. That strength did not come from you alone. It came from me. I have been sustaining you in ways you may not even recognize. Every breath you have taken, every challenge you have survived, every obstacle you have overcome has been supported by my hand. My child, one of the greatest blessings I give during seasons of waiting is strength. Not always the strength to instantly change your circumstances, but the strength to endure until the right season arrives. Many people pray for immediate breakthroughs, but few realize that endurance itself is a miracle. The ability to keep believing after disappointment is a gift. The ability to keep hoping when circumstances remain unchanged is evidence of my presence. The ability to keep moving forward when everything within you wants to quit is a sign that I am working in your life. Do not underestimate the strength I have placed within you. You are stronger today than you were a year ago. You have survived battles you once thought would destroy you. You have faced fears that once controlled you. You have walked through storms that seemed impossible to survive. And yet here you are. That is not an accident. That is evidence of my faithfulness. My child, I know that sometimes you compare your current strength to the strength you wish you had. You look at yourself and focus on your weaknesses. You focus on the moments when you feel afraid, discouraged, or uncertain. But I see something different. I see resilience. I see perseverance. I see courage. I see growth. You may feel weak because you are focused on the struggle, but I see the strength that has developed through the struggle. Every challenge has taught you something. Every delay has built endurance. Every disappointment has strengthened your ability to trust me. The person you are becoming is far stronger than the person who entered this waiting season. My child, remember the words of Isaiah 40-31. But those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not faint. Notice that I did not promise that there would never be difficult seasons. I did not promise that the journey would always be easy, but I did promise renewed strength. I promised that those who place their hope in me would not be abandoned. I promised that I would provide what they need for every season. My child, your strength is not dependent upon your circumstances. Your strength comes from me. That means when circumstances become difficult, your source remains unchanged. When challenges increase, my power remains available. When obstacles appear, my presence remains constant. You do not have to rely solely on your own ability, because I am your strength. I am your refuge. I am your source of endurance. My child, there are times when I allow waiting seasons because they reveal strengths you never knew existed. If every prayer were answered immediately, you would never discover how deeply you can trust me. If every challenge disappeared instantly, you would never realize how much courage I have placed within you. If every obstacle moved out of the way at the first sign of difficulty, you would never learn the power of perseverance. The waiting season is teaching you that you are capable of more than you imagined, not because of your own power, but because my Spirit is working within you. Think about David before he became king. He spent years facing challenges, opposition, and uncertainty. During those years, he learned to depend upon me. He learned to worship me in difficult seasons. He learned to trust my promises when circumstances seemed impossible. The strength he developed while waiting prepared him for the responsibilities ahead. My child, the same is happening in your life. The strength you are developing now is preparing you for future blessings. The endurance you are building now will help sustain future victories. The faith you are growing now will support future responsibilities. Nothing is being wasted. Every challenge is producing something valuable. Every delay is strengthening your spirit. Every difficult moment is creating deeper trust. My child, I know there have been times when you felt like giving up. Perhaps you never told anyone. Perhaps you kept those thoughts hidden deep within your heart. But I know. I know the moments when discouragement whispered that nothing would ever change. I know the moments when fear suggested that your prayers were pointless. I know the moments when exhaustion made you question whether you could continue. Yet, even in those moments, even when your faith felt small, you kept believing. Even when your hope felt fragile, you held on. That perseverance matters. Those small acts of faith matter. Every time you chose trust over fear, you grew stronger. Every time you chose hope over despair, your spirit became stronger. Every time you chose to keep moving forward, you were building endurance that will serve you well in the future. My child, do not confuse weariness with weakness. Feeling tired does not mean you are failing. Feeling exhausted does not mean you lack faith. Even the strongest believers experience seasons of weariness. Even great leaders in Scripture experienced moments of discouragement. The key is not pretending you are never tired. The key is bringing your weariness to me. Let me refresh you. Let me strengthen you. Let me remind you that you do not have to carry every burden by yourself. I never asked you to be self-sufficient. I asked you to depend upon me, my child. When you feel weak, remember that my power is made perfect in weakness. When you feel discouraged, remember that I am the source of your hope. When you feel exhausted, remember that I can renew your strength. You are not expected to carry the weight of your future on your own shoulders. That burden belongs to me. Your responsibility is not to control every outcome. Your responsibility is to trust me one step at a time. My child, there are blessings ahead that will make sense of this season. There are victories ahead that will reveal why endurance was necessary. There are breakthroughs ahead that will show you the value of perseverance. One day you will look back and realize that the strength you gained during this waiting season became one of the greatest gifts of your life. You will see how every challenge made you stronger. You will see how every delay deepened your faith. You will see how every difficult moment prepared you for greater things. Until then, keep going, keep trusting, keep praying, keep believing. Do not give up now. You have already come too far. The same God who carried you yesterday is carrying you today. The same God who sustained you through previous storms will sustain you through this one. My grace is sufficient for you. My strength is available to you. My presence is with you. Lift your eyes, my child. Take another step. Trust me again today. You are stronger than you realize because I am strengthening you every day. The waiting season will not last forever. The breakthrough is drawing near. The answer is coming. And when it arrives, you will understand that every moment's strength if you believe God is renewing your strength and carrying you through this waiting season. My child, if you have been feeling like the pressure around you has increased, if the battles seem more intense than before, if the challenges have become heavier, just when you thought you could not carry any more, I want you to pay close attention, because this may not be a sign that you are losing ground. It may actually be a sign that your breakthrough is drawing near too often. When difficulties increase, people assume that something is wrong. They believe the obstacles mean they are moving away from my promises. But many times the opposite is true. The enemy rarely attacks what poses no threat to him. He becomes most active when he senses that a season is changing, when he sees that you are growing stronger, and when he recognizes that blessings are closer than ever before. My child, I do not want you to fear the challenges you are facing right now. Instead, I want you to understand them through the eyes of faith. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in Scripture were preceded by some of the greatest battles before David stood in victory over Goliath. He first faced a giant that seemed impossible to defeat. Before the Israelites entered the Promised Land, they encountered obstacles that tested their faith. Before Joseph stepped into promotion, he endured years of hardship and uncertainty. The battle was not proof that the promise had failed. The battle was part of the journey toward fulfillment. In the same way, the struggles you are experiencing today are not evidence that I have abandoned you. They are not proof that your prayers have gone unheard. They are not signs that your future is falling apart. In many cases, they are indicators that movement is happening behind the scenes. My child, one sign that your breakthrough may be near is that you have experienced unusual resistance. Things that once seemed simple suddenly require greater effort. Doors that appeared ready to open seem to encounter unexpected delays. Challenges arise in areas where you expected progress. When this happens, do not immediately assume defeat. Resistance often appears when you are approaching a new level of growth. Consider a runner approaching the finish line. The final stretch is often the most demanding. The body feels tired. The muscles ache. Every step requires determination, yet the finish line is closer than ever. The difficulty of the final moments does not mean failure. It means the race is nearing completion. My child, there are times when spiritual battles intensify because the enemy hopes to convince you to quit just before the answer arrives. He wants you to surrender your faith one step before the breakthrough. He wants you to stop praying one prayer before the answer. He wants you to give up one day before the door opens. Do not fall for that deception. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting. Keep believing. My child, another sign that your breakthrough may be near is a growing dissatisfaction with where you currently are. This is not the unhealthy dissatisfaction that comes from greed or comparison. It is a holy stirring within your spirit. It is the sense that the current season is no longer where you are meant to remain. It is the feeling that I am calling you into something deeper, something greater, something new. You may not fully understand what is coming, but you sense that change is approaching. That feeling is often part of my preparation process. Before I move my children into a new season, I often create a hunger for more of my purpose. I begin stirring desires that align with my plans. I begin placing expectations within the heart that point toward the future. My child, if you have felt this stirring, do not ignore it. Bring it to me in prayer. Ask me to guide your steps. Ask me to prepare your heart. Ask me to help you recognize the opportunities I place before you. Another sign that breakthrough may be near is that despite the challenges, your faith refuses to die. There have been moments when you felt discouraged. There have been moments when you questioned how everything would work out. There have been moments when fear tried to overwhelm your thoughts. Yet somehow, deep within your spirit, hope remains alive. You continue praying. You continue believing. You continue seeking me, my child. That persistence is not an accident. It is evidence that I am sustaining you. Left to your own strength, you might have given up long ago. But I have been renewing your faith. I have been strengthening your heart. I have been reminding you of my promises. The fact that you are still holding on is itself a sign of my work within you. My child, another indicator that your breakthrough may be near is that you are beginning to see things differently. The challenges that once seemed impossible no longer control your thinking the way they once did. The fears that once dominated your mind have lost some of their power. You are learning to trust me more than your circumstances. You are beginning to recognize my faithfulness in past seasons. You are becoming stronger, wiser, and more mature. Sometimes the greatest breakthrough happens inside you, before it happens around you. Before I change the circumstances, I often change the person walking. Before I open the door, I prepare the one who will walk through it. Before I release the blessing, I develop the character needed to sustain it. My child, do not overlook this internal growth. It is one of the clearest signs that my work is progressing. Another sign that breakthrough may be near is unexpected peace. This may seem strange because many people assume that peace comes after the problem is solved. But often, my peace arrives before the answer. You may still be facing challenges. The circumstances may not have changed yet there is a calmness within your spirit that cannot be explained by logic. There is a confidence that I am in control. There is a quiet assurance that everything will work out according to my plan. This peace is a gift from me. It is a reminder that you do not need to carry the weight of your future. It is evidence that I am teaching you to trust me more deeply. My child, when my peace begins to guard your heart despite difficult circumstances, it is often because I am preparing you for what comes next. Another sign that breakthrough may be near is that opportunities begin appearing where none existed before. They may start small. They may not look dramatic. A conversation opens a new possibility. A connection leads to an unexpected opportunity. A door that seemed permanently closed begins to move. These moments are often part of my preparation process. Do not despise small beginnings. Do not overlook simple opportunities because they seem insignificant. Many of the greatest blessings begin with small steps of obedience. Joseph interpreted dreams before he governed a nation. David cared for sheep before he ruled a kingdom. The path to greater things often begins with faithfulness in smaller things. My child, I also want to warn you about something important. When breakthrough is near, temptation to quit often becomes stronger. Discouragement may intensify. Doubt may become louder. Fear may try harder to control your thoughts. This is why you must remain vigilant. Do not allow temporary emotions to determine permanent decisions. Do not abandon your faith because the journey feels difficult. Do not stop believing because the answer has not arrived yet. Remember that many people miss their breakthrough because they surrender too soon. They stop one step before the miracle. They quit one moment before the door opens. They lose hope just before the answer arrives. My child, do not be one of those people. Stay faithful. Stay focused. Stay connected to me. Continue praying even when you do not see immediate results. Continue trusting even when circumstances seem uncertain. Continue believing even when the journey feels long. I am working in ways you cannot see. I am arranging details you do not yet understand. I am preparing blessings you have not yet imagined. The breakthrough may be closer than you think. The answer may be nearer than you realize. The season may be changing even now. One day you will look back and understand why the battle became more intense. You will see that it was not a sign of defeat, but a sign that victory was approaching. You will realize that the resistance was evidence that progress was being made. You will recognize that I was working behind the scenes all along. Until then, keep your eyes on me. Do not quit. Do not surrender. Do not let fear steal what faith has built. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. Your answer is on the way, and your new season is approaching. Comment breakthrough if you believe God is preparing a new season and that your miracle is closer than you realize. My child, there are moments in life when it feels as though nothing is happening. You pray, you wait, you trust, and yet the circumstances around you appear unchanged. Day after day passes, and you begin to wonder if your prayers are reaching heaven at all. You look at your situation and see no visible evidence of progress. The door remains closed. The breakthrough feels distant. In those moments, it is easy to believe that I am silent or inactive. It is easy to assume that because you cannot see movement, no movement exists. But today I want you to hear my voice clearly. I am moving behind the scenes even when you cannot see it. I have never stopped working on your behalf. I have never forgotten the promises I spoke over your life. I have never abandoned the plans I created for you, my child. One of the greatest mistakes people make is assuming that visible results are the only evidence of my activity. They believe that if they cannot see immediate change, then nothing is happening. But much of my work takes place beyond human sight. Just as a builder lays a foundation before raising a structure, I often prepare what is unseen before revealing what is visible. Just as roots develop beneath the soil long before a tree produces fruit, I often work in hidden places before my blessings become obvious. The fact that you cannot see my hand does not mean my hand is absent. The fact that you cannot trace my plan does not mean I have no plan. Even now, while you are reading these words, I am arranging details that will eventually fit together in ways you cannot yet imagine. My child, remember Joseph. For years it appeared as though his life was moving in the wrong direction. He received a dream from me, yet his circumstances seemed to contradict that dream at every turn. He was betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, falsely accused, and imprisoned. If Joseph had judged my faithfulness based solely on his circumstances, he might have concluded that I had abandoned him. Yet while he sat in prison, I was working behind the scenes. I was positioning people. I was arranging events. I was preparing opportunities. Joseph could not see it, but every hardship was moving him closer to his destiny. Every setback was part of a larger plan. Every delay was serving a greater purpose. At the appointed time, the doors opened suddenly, and what had seemed impossible became reality. My child, your story may not look exactly like Joseph's, but the principle remains the same. Just because you cannot see what I am doing does not mean I am not doing something extraordinary. There are conversations taking place that you know nothing about. There are opportunities being prepared that you have not yet discovered. There are people I am positioning to help you, encourage. There are obstacles I am removing before you ever encounter them. There are dangers I am protecting you from that you may never even know existed. My work is often hidden because I am dealing with details beyond your vision. If you could see everything I see, you would understand why patience is necessary. If you could understand the full picture, you would recognize that every delay has purpose. My child, I know you sometimes become discouraged because you expect my answers to arrive in a certain way. You imagine specific outcomes, specific timelines, and specific paths. But my ways are higher than your ways, and my thoughts are higher than your thoughts. The answer you are praying for may arrive through a path you never considered. The opportunity you desire may appear from a direction you never. The blessing you are waiting for may be prepared in a way that surprises you completely. This is why trust is so important. Trust allows you to remain at peace even when you do not understand the process. Trust allows you to believe in my goodness even when circumstances appear confusing. Trust allows you to keep moving forward without needing every detail explained. My child, there are divine connections I am preparing for your future. There are people whose paths will cross yours at exactly the right moment. Some of them will open doors. Some will provide encouragement. Some will offer wisdom. Some will become important parts of your journey. Right now, you may not know who they are, you may not know where they are. But I know I am arranging meetings, conversations, and opportunities according to my perfect timing. What appears to be coincidence is often my guidance at work. What seems random is often part of a carefully designed plan, my child. I am also working within you while I work around you. Many people focus entirely on external blessings, but they overlook the internal transformation taking place. While you are waiting for circumstances to change, I am changing you. While you are asking me to move mountains, I am strengthening your faith. While you are seeking open doors, I am developing wisdom. While you are waiting for answers, I am building character. This hidden work is just as important as the visible blessing. In fact, many times it is more important, because when the blessing arrives, the person you have become will determine how you handle it. I care not only about what you receive, but also about who you become. My child, think about the times in your past when you believed nothing was happening, only to discover later that I had been working all along. Think about the doors that opened unexpectedly. Think about the opportunities that appeared at just the right moment. Think about the prayers that were answered in ways you never predicted. Looking back, you can see my hand more clearly now than you could then. The same will be true of your current situation. One day you will look back and realize that I was orchestrating events with perfect wisdom. One day you will see how each delay connected to a greater purpose. One day you will understand why certain doors remain closed while others eventually opened. My child, do not allow impatience to do not allow fear to convince you that nothing is happening. Do not allow doubt to silence your faith. Heaven is not inactive. I am not absent. I am not ignoring your prayers. Every prayer you have spoken has been heard. Every tear you have cried has been seen. Every moment of faithfulness has been noticed. Even now, I am working in ways beyond your understanding. I am opening doors that no one can shut. I am removing barriers that stand in your way. I am creating opportunities where none seem to exist. I am making a path through places that appear impossible. My child, there are blessings closer than you realize. There are answers already in motion. There are breakthroughs already being prepared. The process may feel slow from your perspective, but my timing is perfect. What seems delayed to you is unfolding exactly as it should. Do not confuse preparation with absence. Do not mistake waiting for abandonment. I am present in every moment of your journey. I am guiding every step. I am directing every detail. Even when you cannot see me, I am there. Even when you cannot hear me, I am speaking through circumstances, opportunities, and quiet moments of faith. My child, continue trusting me. Continue praying, continue believing, continue walking forward with confidence. Refuse to let temporary uncertainty weaken your faith. Refuse to let visible delays overshadow invisible progress. The breakthrough is coming. The answer is approaching. The door is opening. What I have promised will come to pass in the right season. Until then, rest in the knowledge that I am moving behind the scenes. I am arranging what you cannot arrange. I am preparing what you cannot prepare. I am opening what, and when the time is right, you will see that I was working all along. You will discover that every moment of waiting had purpose, every delay carried meaning, and every hidden step was leading you toward the blessing I had prepared from the very beginning. Comment: God is working. If you believe that even now, behind the scenes, God is arranging your breakthrough and preparing your next season. My child, I know there have been moments when you looked at your life and wondered whether this season of waiting, pain, and uncertainty would ever make sense. I know there were times when you cried in secret, carrying burdens that no one else could fully understand. I know there were days when disappointment weighed heavily on your heart, and nights when questions filled your mind. You prayed for answers but received silence. You hoped for change, that saw delays. You believed for breakthroughs, but encountered obstacles. And in those moments, it may have seemed as though your struggles had no purpose. It may have felt as though your pain was meaningless, and your waiting was wasted. But today, my child, I want you to understand a truth that can transform the way you view your journey. Your testimony is coming. The very things that caused you pain will one day reveal my faithfulness. The very battles that tested your faith will one day become evidence of my power. The very season that made you question whether you could continue will one day become the story that inspires others not to. What you are experiencing now is not the end of your story. It is only one chapter, and I am still writing the chapters that follow. My child, many people want a testimony, but few realize that testimonies are born from tests. They admire stories of victory without understanding the battles that came before the victory. They celebrate breakthroughs without seeing the waiting seasons that preceded them. They rejoice in restoration without witnessing the tears that were shed before healing arrived. Every testimony has a process. Every miracle has a journey. Every breakthrough has a story. The testimony I am creating in your life is being written through every challenge you face, every prayer you pray, every act of faith you take, and every moment you choose to trust me despite uncertainty. Nothing is wasted. Every experience is becoming part of a greater story. My child, think about Job. There was a season when his life seemed to fall apart. He experienced loss that few could comprehend. He faced suffering that seemed unfair. He endured questions that appeared to have no answers. There were moments when it looked as though everything had been taken from him. Yet the story did not end in suffering. The story did not end in loss. The story did not end in disappointment. I restored what had been broken. I renewed what had been lost. I revealed my faithfulness in a way that transformed his pain into a testimony that continues to encourage people generations later. My child, your story may not look exactly like Job's story, but the same God who restored him is still working today. The same God who turned his sorrow into testimony is able to turn your struggles into something beautiful. Do not judge your future by your current chapter. The story is not finished. My child, one day people will hear about the battles you survived and recognize my faithfulness. They will hear about the season when you almost gave up but chose to keep trusting. They will hear about the prayers that seemed unanswered and the breakthrough that eventually arrived. They will hear about the tears you cried and the joy that followed. They will hear about the obstacles that stood in your way and the doors I opened. Despite them, your testimony will not be about how strong you were. It will be about how faithful I was. It will not be a story that glorifies human effort. It will be a story that glorifies my grace, my power, and my love. My child, there are people you have never met who will one day be encouraged because of what you are experiencing right now. There are individuals who will face struggles similar to yours. There are hearts that will feel discouraged, hopeless, and afraid. And when they hear how I carried you through your difficult season, they will find hope. When they hear how I answered your prayers, they will gain courage to keep praying. When they hear how I remained faithful during your waiting season, they will discover the strength to keep believing. This is one reason why I can use even painful experiences for good. What hurts today can become healing for someone else tomorrow. What challenges you today can inspire someone else later. What seems like a setback today can become a source of encouragement in the future. My child, I know there have been times when you wished I would simply remove every obstacle immediately. I know there were moments when you wanted a shortcut around the struggle, but some of the most powerful testimonies come from journeys that required perseverance. If every challenge disappeared instantly, you would never experience the depth of my faithfulness in the same way. If every prayer were answered immediately, you would never learn how to trust me through uncertainty. If every difficulty vanished at the first sign of trouble, you would never discover the strength I have placed within you. The testimony I am building is not only about the destination, it is also about the journey. It is about who you are becoming along the way. My child, there is a reason I have carried you this far. There is a reason you survived battles that should have broken you. There is a reason you are still standing after everything you have faced. It is because my hand has been upon your life. Even when you felt weak, I strengthened you. Even when you felt alone, I remained with you. Even when you felt uncertain, I guided your steps. Even when you felt forgotten, I remembered every detail of your story. One day, you will look back and recognize that my faithfulness was present in every season. You will see that I never left you. You will see that I never abandoned you. You will see that every challenge became part of a greater purpose. My child, do not underestimate what I can do with your pain. I am able to transform sorrow into joy. I am able to transform failure into wisdom. I am able to transform brokenness into strength. I am able to transform waiting into testimony. What seems impossible to you is not impossible for me. The places where you feel weakest are often the places where my power is revealed most clearly. The areas of your life that seem beyond repair are often the very areas where my restoration shines brightest. My child, your testimony is already being written, even if you cannot see the finished story yet. Every prayer matters. Every act of faith matters. Every decision to trust me matters. The story is unfolding one step at a time, and although you may not understand every chapter right now, trust the author who is writing it. Trust that I know how the story ends. Trust that I am leading you toward victory. Trust that the waiting season will not last forever. Trust that joy is coming. Trust that healing is coming. Trust that restoration is coming. Trust that breakthrough is coming. My child, there will come a day when you look back on this season and realize that what once felt like a burden became a blessing. You will realize that the struggle strengthened you. You will realize that the waiting deepened your faith. You will realize that the obstacles taught valuable lessons. Most importantly, you will realize that I was faithful through it all. The tears you cried were not wasted. The prayers you prayed were not ignored. The faith you demonstrated was not unnoticed. Everything has been part of a greater story, and when the testimony is fully revealed, you will understand why I asked you to trust me. Until that day arrives, continue believing, continue hoping, continue praying, continue walking forward by faith. Refuse to let discouragement define your future. Refuse to let temporary struggles convince you that the story is over. The best chapters are still ahead. The breakthrough is coming. The restoration is coming. The testimony is coming. And when it arrives, it will reveal my goodness, my faithfulness, and my power in ways greater than you can currently imagine. Comment testimony. If you believe God is turning your pain into purpose and preparing a victory story that will inspire others and glorify His name. My child, as this message comes to a close, I want you to take a deep breath and become still before me. For a few moments, set aside the distractions, the worries, the responsibilities, and the noise that so often fills your mind. Let your heart rest in my presence. You have heard my words throughout this message. You have been reminded that your waiting season has purpose, that your delays are not denials, that I have been working behind the scenes, and that your breakthrough is closer than you think. Now, my child, I invite you into a moment of prayer. Not a prayer of performance, not a prayer filled with perfect words, but a prayer of surrender, a prayer that comes from the deepest part of your heart, a prayer that places every burden, every fear, every disappointment, and every unanswered question into my hands. I know there are things you have been carrying that have become heavy. I know there are concerns that keep returning to your thoughts. I know there are situations you wish you could control, but cannot. I know there are dreams you are afraid to hope for because you have waited so long. I know there are prayers you have repeated so many times that you wonder if they will ever be answered. But today, my child, I want you to stop carrying what was never yours to carry. I want you to release the weight that has exhausted your spirit. I want you to place every concern into my hands and trust that I am able to do what you cannot. You do not have to have every answer. You do not have to know exactly how the future will unfold. You do not have to figure everything out before you trust me. All I ask is that you bring your heart before me and allow me to be your source of strength, peace, and hope. So now, my child, pray with me from the depths of your heart. Heavenly Father, I come before you today with gratitude and faith. Thank you for speaking to me. Thank you for reminding me that I am not forgotten. Thank you for seeing every tear, hearing every prayer, and walking with me through every season, Lord. You know the burdens I have been carrying. You know the struggles I have faced. You know the disappointments that have wounded my heart and the fears that have tried to steal my peace. Today I surrender them all to you. I release my worries into your hands. I release my doubts into your hands. I release my frustrations into your hands. I release every unanswered question into your hands. Father, I confess that there have been times when I became discouraged. There have been times when I questioned your timing. There have been times when I allowed fear to speak louder than faith. Forgive me, Lord, and help me trust you more deeply. Teach me to rely on your wisdom instead of my own understanding. Teach me to believe your promises even when circumstances seem uncertain. Strengthen my faith during this waiting season. Give me courage when I feel weak. Give me hope when I feel discouraged. Give me peace when anxiety tries to overwhelm me, Father. I thank you that my waiting season is not wasted. I thank you that you are working behind the scenes even when I cannot see it. I thank you that every delay has purpose and every challenge is being used for my good. Help me remember that your timing is perfect. Help me trust that you know what is best for my life, Lord. I pray for breakthrough in every area where I have been waiting. Open the doors that no one can shut. Make a way where there seems to be no way. Bring healing where there is pain. Bring restoration where there has been loss. Bring provision where there has been lack. Bring peace where there has been worry. Bring hope where there has been discouragement. Father, I pray for the dreams you have placed within my heart. If they align with your will, bring them to fulfillment in your perfect timing. Prepare me for the blessings you have planned. Develop the character, wisdom, and strength I need to walk faithfully into the future you have prepared. Lord, protect me from discouragement. Protect me from fear. Protect me from the lies that tell me you have forgotten me. Remind me daily that I am loved, chosen, and cared for by you. Help me keep my eyes on you rather than on my circumstances. Help me walk by faith and not by sight. Help me trust you even when I do not understand the process. Father, thank you for the strength you have given me during this season. Thank you for carrying me through battles I thought I could not survive. Thank you for sustaining me when I felt weak. Thank you for never leaving me alone. Thank you for your faithfulness through every challenge. Lord, I believe that you are preparing a testimony from this season. I believe that you are turning my pain into purpose. I believe that you are working all things together for good. I believe that the breakthrough is coming. The answer is coming. The restoration is coming, and the blessing is coming in your perfect time. Until that day arrives, help me remain faithful. Help me remain grateful. Help me remain hopeful. Fill my heart with your peace and my mind with your truth. Let your presence surround me. Let your promises guide me. Let your love strengthen me, Father. I place my future into your hands. I place my family into your hands. I place my dreams into your hands. I place my health into your hands. I place my finances into your hands. I place every area of my life under your care because I know that you are faithful. I know that you are good. I know that you are able. Thank you for the breakthrough that is on the way. Thank you for the miracles you are preparing. Thank you for the testimony you are writing. Thank you for loving me even when I struggle. Thank you for remaining faithful, even when my faith feels weak. Thank you for guiding me even when I cannot see the path ahead. I choose to trust you today. I choose to believe your promises. I choose to walk forward in faith, and I declare that my waiting season will not define me, because your faithfulness will define my story. In the mighty name of Jesus Christ, I pray, Amen. My child, if you prayed those words sincerely, know that I have heard you. I hear every prayer that rises from a humble and trusting heart. Do not leave this moment carrying the same burdens you brought into it. Leave with faith, leave with hope, leave with peace. Leave knowing that I am with you. The waiting season will not last forever. The breakthrough is drawing near. The door is opening, the answer is coming, the testimony is being written. Keep trusting me. Keep believing, keep moving forward. And remember, the God who brought you this far will not abandon you now. Comment Amen if you believe God is ending your waiting season and leading you into a season of breakthrough, blessing, restoration, and testimony.